Welcome back, everybody. It's another edition of New Guitar Day, and it is December the 2nd, 2021. Very unseasonably mild outside. Yesterday it was 69 degrees, today it's 60. Not complaining, it won't last, the cold weather will be coming. Clearly this is not a Gibson guitar. Real quick, we're going to show we have a little bit of cave-in on the bottom of the box, but I don't think it will matter. But through the magic of magic, we're going to make the cat disappear, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the cat disappeared. So what we have here, again, it's not a Gibson, but it is its cousin, the Epiphone. And this is an Epiphone, what's called an Epiphone 1959 standard Les Paul. So I'm not going to bore you with the unpacking other than once we get it out of the case. So we'll be back when we have it out of the box and we'll peek in the case. Okay, so here we go. I must say that every guitar that I've ever gotten from Guitar Center has been very well packed. So this one no exception. Ooh. Well, we have some issues which probably can be corrected fairly quickly, but first thing we want to do is this. We've got some issues, Captain. Okay. So first thing to note is this pickup right here has left the building, so we're going to have to do a little work to get that back into shape. And we've got some strangeness here on the fretboard. So we're going to have to fix that before we even get to play. So we're going to take care of that right now. Okay, that's 10 minutes out of my life I'll never get back, but it was an easy fix. So what I think I'm going to do is tune this up, plug it in and play it, and then we'll come back and we'll give it a fit and a finish because I just really feel like playing. So off I go. Okay, so we're back. It's later in the evening. I played this guitar for about 2.5 hours, and it's a very nice guitar. I'm not really sure if it's overpriced. That's a subjective, for an Epiphone that they're charging $850 for these. I'm not really sure, but it is also 2021 and inflation is rampant and there's supply chain issues, and the only other Epiphone Les Paul that was similar to this that I had was I once had an Epiphone 56 Pro that had P90s. It was about a 2012 model. It was a nice guitar. So it's there's the only thing I have to compare it to. I know I've read other people's opinions about this guitar saying that it's really no better than the standard regular Epiphone. I guess the thing that pushes the price up on this is that it does have the burst bucker pickups that are USA, Gibson made, the Switchcraft switch, the CTS pots, the 50s wiring, the Mallory capacitors, the Switchcraft output jack. Those things add money to a guitar, so obviously when you're a bean counter and you start adding everything up, that's what you get. That being said, my one complaint about this guitar for the price range is the fret ends are a little bit sharp, and the only reason why I mention it is because I have a couple of Grote guitars that cost $150 and the fretwork is butter, and they're made in China as well. So Epiphone needs to pay attention. If the competitors can figure out how to get their fret ends nice and smooth without expecting the consumer to take the time to do it, Epiphone should pay attention. My previous experience with Epiphone's customer service is absolute abysmal. I have emails from 2 years ago that were never even answered. That's how they sort of deal with their customers. Maybe they're going to wake up. I don't know. I know Gibson's tagline for a while was, "We listen." Well, you may listen, but you don't answer. So, yeah, I give this guitar good ratings. It comes in at £9, which for a Les Paul is pretty much what you expect. I was hoping to get something a little bit lighter, but I'm thankful that I didn't get a 12-pounder, right? Who knows? Again, the flame on this guitar is just what I hoped for. I didn't want anything extreme. This camera doesn't really pick it up. I guess it does. But this is just about what I was hoping for, just sort of a nice tiger stripe. Again, I didn't want too dramatic. I saw some of the guitars that were just over the top and some that were downright ugly. So it's just, you take a chance. I don't know what to say about the pink case. For some reason they say it's period correct, so I guess they were going for the Jane Mansfield vibe of 1959. It's an average case. Probably cost you $100 if you went out and bought it. Again, I have no idea how much Bucker pickups cost, or CTS pots, or Mallory capacitors, or Switchcraft switches. They probably add up a little here and there. But it's a nice guitar. It feels really good. One of the reasons why I bought this guitar was because they said that the neck profile was a C, and it feels like it. Sort of a chubby C, and I feel like we had pretty good luck with the tuners. Sometimes they're really, really, really crooked. They're never perfect, but these seem to be fairly put together well. And I looked for the dreaded headstock crack, and I couldn't feel or see anything, so I'm going to assume that we made it there. For some reason, Epiphone's not putting their inspected in the USA stickers on their guitars anymore. At least they didn't on this one. And this one was also missing, but apparently others don't have it either. Some of them have a tag here extolling the virtues of this being the first collaboration between Gibson Custom Shop and Epiphone. Probably a bunch of hyperbole. It was probably a single phone call saying, "Hey, we're going to shoot you some pickups, put them in a guitar, and we're going to turn on the hyperbole machine and act like it's 1959 again." Clearly, you're not getting a Gibson quality 1959 guitar. If you want that, you have to pay $2,500 and up. Not something that I'm even interested in. I'm certainly happy to have a budget-friendly, reasonable facsimile of an imitation something, whatever you want to call it. So there you go. My biggest beef for my viewing audience is that this guitar was purchased brand new from Musician's Friend, but they didn't have it in stock in the warehouse, so they sourced it out to a guitar center. So in my humble opinion, even though this guitar is in incredibly good shape, it would still be a used guitar, an open box guitar, a demo, a floor model. It did not come in a factory sealed case, and as far as I'm concerned, that renders it as being, take your choice. Open box, because obviously the box was open and then thrown away. A demo, if anyone else played it in the store, a floor model, even used. So I'm currently going to talk to the folks at Musician's Friend and see if they can take a little bit off the price to sort of match that. I wish they'd stop doing it. I know their intentions are good. I know that the supply chain is sort of clogged up, and if they don't have one in the warehouse, my point is simply this: they need to call the customer and say, "This is what's available, do you want it?" As I told the guy on the phone today, I realize when you go into a guitar store and there's a guitar hanging on the wall, it's being sold as a brand new guitar, even though it's been taken out of the box, been played by other people. I understand that. The difference is when you walk into the store, you get to pick up the guitar, you get to look at it, you get to inspect it, you get to decide whether it's what you want. When you buy something online and they call it brand new, as far as I'm concerned, it should be in a factory sealed box, untouched. by human hands since it left the factory, but that's just me. Anyways, in conclusion, I feel good about this purchase. It is by far the most expensive guitar that I've bought in this recent iteration. Back in the day, I probably spent more than this on a few Gibsons and Fenders. But in this modern era, from 2017 going forward, this is twice as expensive as any other guitar that I've purchased thus far. I've really been having a love affair with budget guitars. And, do I think this guitar is worth what I paid for it? Is it that much better? No, it's not, but it's sort of an interesting guitar. I don't know. Epiphone and many other makers play very fast and loose with the concept of limited edition. I have a Les Paul Special 1 with P90s. Limited edition, made in 2012. They're still making them. So there was nothing limited edition about it at all. Obviously the value of this would go up if it truly was a limited edition and they only made it for a couple of years. But it's been a fairly popular guitar, and I'm sure the bean counters are licking their lips and saying, hey, as long as people are buying them, let's keep making them, which will just render the idea of this being limited edition as being completely meaningless. But at the end of the day, I buy guitars to play, not to sell, not to collect. So, anyways, thanks for joining us again. It is December the 2nd, 2021, and this is an Epiphone, for lack of a better word, 59 Les Paul. Is it a reissue? I don't know. Did Epiphone ever make a 59 Les Paul? I don't know. Is this a reissue of that? Is it a bogus reissue of the original 59 Les Paul? I have no idea. But I think they did a nice job. And yes, I welcome it to my collection of fine guitars. Thank you for joining us. And that is all.